Wake your ass up
or take a damn nap.
And we're the three best friends that anybody could have.
It's time.
Sean, you were twerking. That's going to happen.
Murph, don't be a dick all your life.
It's one of the more fun podcasts I've ever done.
Hey, I tell you what, if you're not talking about sports in the man cave, I bet not say you not a man.
That's it.
I actually talked to Dan Quinn earlier in the week, and he was raving about him, of how well he was doing, and he was. We all were seeing it. But I think Demo's actually in really good spirits. You know, I talked to him yesterday before his MRI, and he reached back out afterwards, and so he's in good spirits. He's in.
HardballHardge are joining us. I don't know if you want to call it a special episode. We just try to find reasons to talk sports and honor all these beautiful sponsors. Honest AC and Plumbing, where a handshake still means something. Hardge, I don't know what to say except for that kind of felt like the way the Texas baseball season ended. You hated seeing Demarvion after he's having such a great camp as a rookie for the Cowboys and leading huddle breakouts, respect. It seemed like he was really absorbing everything in a fast-paced, then that torn MCL. I mean, did you get the same gut feeling as I did?
Well, it was a little bit more than that, because here's a guy that has been talked about in the media a lot in the Dallas metro area. Guys, a player that you and I both know very, very well, been very supportive of his actions. In case you didn't know, Dak was talking about him quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? Dak was putting love on Demarvion Overshown's name. So we knew what his capabilities were. But when we broke it all down, you look at it and you say, man, this was a guy that had an opportunity to be very, very special for what the Cowboys were looking at. We knew the capabilities of him, but for him to do it at the big time level, it's very, very disappointing because of the fact of who he is as a player, the way he felt about the Dallas Cowboys, and most importantly, the folks in Arp, Texas, were looking out for him as well.
In the city of Arp in East Texas, small community, it's your trademark textbook Texas high school football city. It's revolved around it. Demarvion, highly respected, highly regarded. Everybody loves the guy. And this is what he tweets after he finds out the diagnosis, a torn ligament in his knee, blessed and highly favored. That's exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
The type of guy he is.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where he looks at it as every day above ground. I mean, as we all do. Every day above ground is blessed and highly favored. You want to make sure that you're there. He looked at his opportunity. He didn't even know that his knee was blown out at that time because he jumps up and then he's getting ready to go back to the huddle. And it's like, oh, damn, I can't move. And then after the game, he's walking around. He's got that straight walk. He can still take pictures with all the players from the University of Texas that are in the league with him. So it was just one of those things that you hated it for him because you know the type of player that he is. But most importantly, you hated it for his family.
Yeah.
That you're looking at and you're saying, damn, my son is on the team, or my all these people in his crew that are looking at it and saying, man, we're about to be for the Dallas Cowboys. You're still going to be for the Dallas Cowboys. It's like Malik Jefferson. It's like our dude, Deuce Vaughn for Cedar Ridge. They put a big old sign for him up in Round Rock. But for a guy like that, who you had a lot of love for, that was making his way in the NFL, it's a tough loss for him.
It really is. Anybody who's spent some time following the Texas Longhorns football program or just high school football in general, they know how special of a guy that Demarvion is. And your thoughts kind of moving forward at the linebacker position, because you can't just – I know he's just a rookie, but you can't just replace what he offered that Dallas defense with his ability to move around, be a threat, because the quarterback and the lineman had to account for him, because there's nothing on film other than preseason and maybe what he did at Texas. I really thought the first half of the season, Demarvion was going to really make a name for himself, or where NFL defenses or offenses had to game plan around him. I mean, is that giving him too much credit? Because I just don't know anyone on this roster who can play that same type of role that he was going to play this rookie year.
Well, it's like anything else. You break it all down and you say, okay, what is the best answer for everyone, right?
Right.
Like, what is going to be our next move when it comes to things of that nature? So for me, it goes back to that point of, damn, what's next?
Yeah.
What's next? And you can't find that what's next, right? You can't find that opportunity of missed opportunities because you don't know.
No.
You do not know. He could have been cut. He could have came out there and played terribly. But now he went out there and he played to the best of his abilities. You got Dan Quinn talking about him. You got Sark opening his press conference about him. And you're realizing that this dude was going to be an impactful part of what the Dallas Cowboys were going to do. That is the disappointing part for me.
Huge. Because
we got a chance to see it every day. We saw the emergence from the safety from Art, the 4 or 5 player. Then he moves to linebacker reluctantly, created this moment for himself. And now he's looking at it and going, man, I'm about to make it to the NFL, and now this is what I'm doing.
You alluded to it, and this is why there's a billboard or a sign in Round Rock, Texas.
Told us this week he can see things a lot clearer. Oh, my goodness.
What
Deuce
a
Vaughn.
run. Deuce Vaughn. First time they hand it off to him on that drive, and you can see right there why Cowboys fans are excited about this rookie.
All right, our guy, Deuce Vaughn. It's getting almost comical as, when Vince Young first said it and then Sam Ellinger said, we're back. Well, now we're saying a lot of Deuce is loose at every level of football. So I know it's just preseason, but this young man has garnered a lot of attention. He's deservingly so. The story's incredible. Chip on both shoulders. He plays like he's 6'3". We both know his family pretty well. Good people, but good things happen to great people who put into work. Your impressions of him through these first 2 preseason games, touchdowns, that one was probably the most impressive of the two.
Yeah, the funny part about it is you start looking at who Deuce Vaughn is, right? So you look at a kid that is 5'5", 100 and whatever pounds. Undersized compared to his counterparts. Everybody loves the underdog story. Well, even though you love the underdog story, there has to be substance to that story. And you may look at one person and say, oh man, look at that guy. I hope he gets a shot. Or you're looking at a guy and saying he has no shot. Well, he's a combination of both. Because there's people that look at him and say, he doesn't even deserve that shot.
Sure.
But then you go back and you look at his numbers and who he is as a player and what he's done throughout his career, going back to Cedar Ridge, going back to K-State, under-recruited. Then he goes on and puts up amazing numbers at a university that, let's be honest, they like the underachiever.
100% they do.
Going back to Bill Snyder and what he was able to do. And then you look at Chris Kleiman, a guy that has won games at the Division II, 1AA level, which a lot of people are like, it's just 1AA. You go out there, still football. There's a lot of dudes that play football at the 1AA level that can go to the NFL. But for Deuce, what he was been able to do as this under recruited player, for him to get to that level is amazing to me. Not just because of what we just said, but most importantly, because we know the family, we know the heart, we know the drive, we know what this young man is capable of. And for the nation now, and you and I talked about this last week with Jeff Barker. We sat there and we talked about the fact that here's a guy that went to a rival school for which we don't cover. So our natural instincts are, we're only pulling for the kids at this university that we cover.
Yeah.
Well, now he's in the NFL, and now you can truly pick who you like as an individual. My son, DJ, is a Russell Wilson guy. He doesn't care where Russell Wilson plays. He's a Russell Wilson guy. So now we have somebody that's our own that we can truly believe in. And we did before, but he was at the rival. Now he's on our team. I love every second of the Deuce Vaughn story because we know the family. We know they're good people. We know that they work hard. We know that Deuce is a guy that a lot of people didn't see getting to this point. But now he's made it really, really cool to be the short guy at the party. Sean, you know that.
I know all about it, Deuce. Hard.
The short guy at the party, but have the biggest influence on people. And that, to me, says everything about Deuce Vaughn.
Well, to add to the compilation of what he is about, just listen to him. He's mastered, and he's mastered the art of the interview dating back to Cedar Ridge High School in Round Rock. Check out this interview immediately after the game, asking the difference from his first preseason game to this second one.
I was more comfortable as far as playing faster. Last week, I feel like there were a couple of times, whether that be in pass protection or whether that be run the football, that I kind of wasn't playing as fast because I was thinking a little bit more. But another game under my belt, second game, I feel like I played a little bit faster today.
That was what he's talking about. And why is Dallas upside down in his hat?
No, listen. I'm glad you brought that up, my brother. Because I went back and I went and looked at those hats. And I went and researched them. There's a company out of Dallas that is, I don't know who they're partnered with per se on the Dallas Cowboys, but obviously they're not Last Stand hats, bro. They're not like us. They're not part of the Last Stand family.
Pop that collar.
Hey, boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. They're not part of that. But it's a company out of Dallas that is their whole thing. They want to turn the city upside down.
I like it. I like it.
Dak is part of them. Obviously, Deuce is now part of them. So it created this other part. But with what he said during that conversation about the speed of the game, you know as well as I do. Yeah, we can take it all the way back to high school. We can take it back to pro baseball. When you're in high school and you're a young cat and those older guys have been playing at that level for a while, the speed of the game is a huge part of the conversation. I may see Sean clinch open in the flats 2 seconds later than what I would have saw it as a sophomore to where I see it as a senior. I know where Sean's going to be, so I'm getting that ball out of my hand. So for him, he's trying to pick up, blocking. He's trying to pick up the read. And what he saw last year at K-State is totally different than what he sees the first year. So the speed of the game, it means something. It means a lot of something. So for him to be open and honest about it, I 100% agree. There's adjustment period that you have to make, and I believe that he's making it now.
I agree. It's if there's anyone who can acclimate, I mean, the kid is the most. He's not only is he just cerebral, intelligent, he's very fundamentally sound, and he's. It's not. Listen, the speed of the game is obviously next level. You and I will never know what that's like, but we see it. We've seen it up close.
Yep.
It's different. It's different. But space and angles are everything. And he's got it. And he sees creases. He reminds me, but a better Quentin Griffin.
Yeah.
Is that what you see?
Yep.
From OU.
Yes. That's funny that you say that because he is that type of dude, size-wise, thickness-wise.
Right.
Actually, wore number 22 at Oklahoma.
That's right. Wow.
Yeah. Eerily.
Woo.
Eerily.
Woo.
How you look at that. But most importantly, at the next level, I think he is more of a guy that, because remember, Quentin Griffin went to Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Played well. Played very well. Like, I think he was like 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah. Good running back.
Don't forget about that. So that's another person that I don't think everybody wants to equate him to Darren Sproles, right? Everybody always wants to say Darren Sproles. He might be a Quentin Griffin starter kit.
And
that's
a compliment.
That's because you covered OU back in the day.
Deeply.
So that was in your mind. I like that though, because that is never the conversation of people.
Ever.
Conversation is always Darren Sproles. That's awesome, Sean.
Brother, I had to overcompensate and study a lot harder than everybody else.
Hey, don't be overcompensating too much, man.
Except that 6-game win streak.
Yeah.
Oklahoma. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Man. And then we'll just move on because there were a couple of those.
Let's move on.
Couple of those. So how do we look at these receivers the Cowboys have? I know we have another Sooner, CeeDee Lamb. You got Gallup. There's quite a few others. And then there's Tolbert. I really like Tolbert, but would you agree that, I mean, he will receive his touches, but I think that young man has an opportunity to really make a difference in special teams. There's a lot of those types on this roster.
Yeah, that was another part of what everybody was talking about with Demarvion Overshown.
Yeah.
They thought that he was going to be one of those special teams guys, comes in and make plays when they need him, come up with a special package during that time with Dan Quinn creating it for him. But most importantly, that's like Deuce too. Deuce is a kickoff. This past weekend they had him on kickoff return. They're trying to find different areas and trying to put and link people up with different situations. I'm looking at this Cowboy team, to be quite honest with you. Somebody asked me, one of my boys said he's a Bears fan. And he wasn't trying to be a dick. He wasn't. He was like, so what do you think about the Cowboys this year? And I said, I want to be 100% honest with you. I think the Cowboys are another 10 to 12 win team, making the playoffs, all this other stuff. And I said, the problem is the expectations, and then we can back it up to the University of Texas as well. The expectations for the Dallas Cowboys are so high that it's impossible to accept them as a failure.
Every year.
What I mean by that is you can have 10 wins, 11 wins, make the playoffs, and lose. You know how many teams do that per year? A lot of them.
Yes.
For a very long time, you could look at the Green Bay Packers, failure, right? You have the best quarterback in the league. He's an MVP. Nobody ever talks about the Green Bay Packers being failures.
Ever.
They always talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Regardless. They don't talk about the Buffalo Bills being failures. They always talk about, well, they're up against Kansas City Chiefs. You don't ever talk about this team or that team. They always go back to the Dallas Cowboys.
Year round, 365 days a year.
That's their
constant news cycle.
That's their clicks.
Jerry Jones, I'll give him this. I mean, the organization does sell itself that star, but Jerry Jones is a magician, incredibly intelligent of making them relevant in the news cycle weekly.
Every chance they get, they're always in the story. But that's my point. They created this image of America's team, like all of that. And I get it. And I'm disappointed every single time. 100%. Every year, I'm thinking this is our year. This is why I equate it to the Texas Longhorns, because these are two of the most popular organizations. And I call the University of Texas an organization because now we are at that point. We are building, we are making money, we are doing all this stuff like the Dallas Cowboys. So you sit there and you're like, yeah, it's been a failure because the expectations are just that. Just like this year, 9.5 is the over-under. I saw for the Cowboys, not for Texas. I saw a lot of people say, oh, let's take the over. But I also seen a lot of people say, let's take the under. We talked about it last week. It's the same thing for the Dallas Cowboys. We're in that position right now to where we believe the defense is going to be astounding. The number 3 and number 4 wide receivers, the tight end, there's so much that goes into this Dallas Cowboy team. So what is fair expectations? There's no fair when it comes to them. You got to win it all, or it's a complete failure, which in reality is false. It's false because there's only a few teams over the last, 10 years, 12 years that have actually played for a Super Bowl. Everybody looks at the San Francisco 49ers and they want to talk about all these numbers about who they are. They haven't won a Super Bowl.
They just made it to the NFC Championship.
They make it to the NFC Championship. There's one champion at the end of the year. And whoever's watching our podcast will say, oh, Hardge, you're just falling into the system. No, it's the reality of it all. There's only a certain amount of people and luck that is involved with it that can create a championship. Look at Major League Baseball.
Oh, my God, that's hard.
Look at the NBA season.
Look at the Yankees.
Look at they got 27 championships. And they're terrible. You know why? The expectations and the money that they spend. Now, Jerry, right now, is spending judiciously.
Yes, he is. Because
Jerry is saying, guys, we're not going to be able to spend that money. He put his foot in his mouth because he ended up playing Zach Martin.
He did. He paid Zach.
Which is rightfully so. But, and nobody's mad at him. Think about it. Nobody is screaming at Jerry about paying Zach Martin. They're pissed off that they gave Dak Prescott that money. But now Dak isn't even the highest paid quarterback anymore.
And that's okay.
And he falls back into the line where he needs to be.
I'll say 11-6, Cowboys.
That's your
regular
number?
season.
That's your number?
That's it.
I love it
because
I'll take it.
But they got to have a home.
Do they make the playoffs and do they make it to the NFC Championship game?
They gotta have a home. They gotta have a path at home. They have not had a path at home in a long time.
Do they make it to the NFC Championship game?
I think yes. Did they win it? No.
Okay. So now you said you believe that they get to that game. So if they don't win it, is a disappointment to you?
Not for me. No, wait.
No. I don't care what other people are thinking. I'm talking about Sean Clinch, a reasonable sports-minded guy that understands how this plays out. They're not the highest payroll. They may be the highest, what is it called? The highest profitable team.
Yeah.
They're the most profitable team in sports. But does that make you a champion? Because even those teams that are the most profitable aren't champions.
The Texas Rangers with A-Rod.
But nobody's bitching about it.
No.
They bitch about the Cowboys, though.
Everybody. They love or hate. But
yep. That's why I'm asking.
The fan in me says they don't go to the Super Bowl, I'm pissed off. But the objective guy who analyzes all this, if they make it to the NFC Championship game, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. You know what else is good, Hardge? Man, Shoal Creek Saloon. I'm not lying. It's not even crawfish season anymore, but it's going about to be even better here on Thursday night. This is why. We've waited nearly 9 months for it, and finally, the season has arrived. High school football, as you all know, is a religion here in the great state of Texas, and it all begins this week with one of the state's best inner-city rivalries, the Taco Shack Bowl. And this right here is the trophy awaiting the winner, the McCallum Knights and the Anderson Trojans at House Park Stadium Thursday night. It's also time to solidify those pregame plans for the Taco Shack Bowl and for all games at House Park Stadium this season. Shoal Creek Saloon is your headquarters for all high school football games at House Park. Ice-cold beverages, good eats, and plenty of space. An ideal marriage, high school football in Austin and Shoal Creek Saloon for your pregame plans.
Yeah, I think we're, still progressing and learning throughout these reps and getting ready for the games that count. And, I think we're in a good spot with that. A lot of guys have gotten better in camp.
All right, Will Greer, not a man of many words. He does represent a West Virginia Mountaineer rather well with all of the Burl Ives-looking facial hair. Texas Longhorn fans remember Will very well. I think it was 2018, wasn't it? The overtime game, DKR. Texas lost, and he did this. These were upside down to the student section at DKR. So, which leads me to this, Hardge. The QB2 race. We got a guy who went on a streak, Cooper Rush or Will Greer. I don't really know. You may know more than I do, probably do. But who is that QB2 in your opinion?
It to me is 100% Cooper Rush. Will Greer is going to be that guy that is that third quarterback that can travel with the team and do everything. He hadn't done enough. He hadn't shown up enough. He's been in the league a while, and they gave him an opportunity to be the starting quarterback in Carolina, and he couldn't take the reins. Think about that. So you're going to, quote unquote, the same conversation we just talked about, America's team, and you're going to try to establish yourself at that point. There's no way that's going to happen. Cooper Rush has already got skins on the wall. He understands the system. Even though it's a new system, Texas Coast offense with Mike McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer. I get it. But the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys is Dak Prescott. His backup is going to be Cooper Rush and Greer. Even though they've given him every opportunity to try to seize it, he's always had that crucial interception, which reminds you a lot of the Dallas Cowboys in the home. Giving up that crucial interception that everybody seems to forget about Tony Romo. Like everybody wants to beat up Dak and talk about how great Romo was, but yet and still, they have the same, shortcomings, if you will.
Romo took a while before he became the starter.
Mm-hmm.
He did.
He did?
Man, hey, we got a special week, and you just heard about it in that promo for Shoal Creek Saloon. Pretty special game, in my opinion. Ball at the Old Girl, House Park Stadium. Not the prettiest, but she's pretty.
She's beautiful.
She's pretty. She's that loyal one.
Yep.
Smell that fresh cut grass. It's not, well, no, it's not grass.
I was going to say it's turf, bro.
It's turf, baby. It's got beads in it.
Yeah.
Best view of a downtown skyline in the state of Texas. Thursday night, Taco Shack Bowl. Since they became the Taco Shack Bowl, Anderson leads at 11-10. They've been playing since the early 70s, but your first week, and you've got some family ties in high school football, namely Lake Travis. What are you looking forward to most this first week of high school football?
Can I ask you a personal question about that game? Because before I give you my personal ties to high school football, just FYI, I love it. I'm going to go watch a bunch of freshman kids play on Wednesday because my son is a freshman in high school. He's not playing football this year. Trust me, it hurts. It hurts a lot. It's the state of Texas. I think my son would be a great wide receiver / quarterback / cornerback.
Everything.
I think he would be a great football player. He decided that he didn't want to do that this year, but all of his buddies, all of his kids that he's grown up with, kids in my neighborhood that I live in, I'm going to go watch them play. But as I say that to you, let me ask you about that game during your time, because I'm a kid from Killeen, Texas.
Right.
Our biggest games, obviously, we played against Killeen High School. We played against Temple High School, but our biggest game was Killeen versus Ellison versus Killeen.
Oh, it was huge.
But for you guys, this is the big game to kick off the season. You know all these kids that you grew up with, probably played youth sports with,
baseball, everything,
in high schools against each other. How big is this game to a guy like Sean Clinch, who has covered Texas high school football, but most importantly, you played in a game which is called the Taco Shack Bowl?
Yeah. Here's the sad thing about the era that you and I grew up in. That was a great era. So this Taco Shack Bowl, this is the 22nd version. When our years, we played McCallum, our senior year, the last game of the year at Nelson Field. It was not the Taco Shack Bowl. Wish it was. It was a rivalry and everything with McCallum. Anderson and McCallum, we hated each other, but we knew each other. Back then, Reagan, which is now Northeast College Prep, was amazing. LBJ was pretty good. Travis was okay. Crockett had some hard-hitting boys on that team. But we looked forward to playing to McCallum in sub-varsity. We played him on the campus of McCallum at Veterans Field. It's no longer – the field's there, but not the wooden stand.
Yeah.
But we played baseball, basketball, went to church with these guys in some ways, and in some ways you were a street over almost. But that's the epitome of a good Texas high school football rivalry. But it's nowhere near what LBJ and Reagan once was. It's nowhere near, not even close to what Westlake and Lake Travis is.
How do you get it there, though?
They got to win. And you
got a lot of talent on both teams, though.
Yeah, now McCallum at their level, they've done shout out to Coach Gammerdinger and all the coaches before him, dating back to the late great Coach Honeycutt, God rest his soul, has done a phenomenal job. And they even went to the when Coach Charlie Taylor, who's at Pflugerville now, they went to state semifinals, man. And that was a few short years ago.
Right.
McCallum in the state semifinals in the Alamo Dome. So McCallum at the 4A level or 5A Division II, phenomenal job, or whatever division that was. They just had lower enrollment. Anderson just happens to be the smallest 6A school in the state of Texas.
Right.
They've got a great coaching staff. They've got a great devoted community of parents. They've got lights on their turf practice field. It's very anti-AISD. It's called private funding.
That's why it's always called the practice field.
Right, yeah, the practice field. And it has to be available to the public.
That's right.
And
that's right.
But that's where it starts. You know that. It starts with your community.
Yeah, for me, and that's why I'm always curious to it, because I have went to one Taco Shack Bowl since I've lived here in 1998. Since 1998, I've been to one of them, and it's always that first game of the year. Everybody's excited about it, but again, it's not even close to the two schools that y'all play at. I mean, that y'all go to. Like, we need to find a field that is closer for all of you, which is the craziest thing for me. Even when I was playing against Killeen High School,
Buckley,
our field was Leo Buckley Field. It was on the campus of Killeen High School, which my mother, my father, my aunts, and my uncles all went to. I get it. But it took us 15 minutes to get there. So it was cool. But now for you guys in this game where both communities are separated by across the highway, now you got to go down Mopac.
Downtown practically.
Downtown, away from where all of you are, where it's just like, man, I've always been curious to y'all's Taco Shack Bowl, what it meant to you as a player, former player, but most importantly, as the community. Because I know, I mean, I drive by Taco Shack all the time, and they always got the signs up. They're ready.
Yeah.
Everybody's ready. I saw that beautiful picture of your mother wearing the Taco Shack hat that you posted today. That means something.
Yeah.
That means something. So I'm excited for you guys. I can't wait to hear how it goes because both teams has a lot of talent. But most importantly, man, this is the first year for you without Mama Clinch being around for the Taco Shack Bowl.
Man, I appreciate that, my brother. It's I think the hardest part about that is not getting that call. Because she knows I'm at all of them, and she's back home watching it, trying to get a shot of LL Cool J in it, NCIS at that time. Dude, I tell you what, man, I think she had a crush on him. That's why she watched NCIS all the time.
Hey, man, a lot of people had a crush on LL. The way he was licking them lips. That bug was in charge. What was it called? Gosh, what's the B lip gloss? What is it called?
It's oh my God, it's a yellow tube.
Yeah.
And it just with the red top.
Yeah. I'm gonna call it chapstick for right now. We'll figure that out. Your mom was checking out LL with his chapstick. Burt's Bees, that's what it's called.
LL Cool J.
With the Burt's Bees, that's what it is.
The thing about House Park Stadium, though, it is perfect for that game because it fills up.
Yep.
A little insight, little pro tip. What goes on a 5-minute walk away at the tavern, even better, before the game, and Shoal Creek Saloon on another.
Boom.
Upstairs, downstairs, a lot of good times had by a lot of blue and white from McCallum, blue and gold from Anderson, getting together, parents, alumni. I mean, there's more people that come out of this game than homecoming.
That's beautiful, dog. That's beautiful.
It's fun, and one of these years I'm going to get you to go. But I gotta show you this. This is the TikTok in the man cave, and I could not withhold this from you. You may have seen it. Father, son's all over his dad for looking at some girl, and I hope you've seen it, but I hope you have not seen it. Here it is. Oh my God, let's go.
Why are you looking at them girls like that?
You look good. That's why I'm looking at it like that.
But Dad, they're not even your age.
Do it look like I give a fuck? Do it look like I give a fuck and I don't? Age ain't nothing but a number. You'll learn that when you get older. Plus, I'm just looking.
That's aside the point, R. Kelly. You looking at them little girls like that, and you're gonna be looking at me through a glass window when you in jail.
Shut the hell up, Sean. You don't know what you're talking about. Plus, I'm looking at her right there, and I don't little girls.
Miss Penny? That should weigh like 400 pounds. Plus, she in a wheelchair.
I'm not talking about Miss Penny. Her right there.
Oh, Miss Johnson.
That's right.
I heard she used to be a man.
Shut the hell up, Sean. She ain't used to be no man. What you talking about? She's just a tall tree, and I want to cut it down. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, before you cut it down, make sure you cut that branch off.
Get the hell out of there. I told you, shut the hell up.
You better cut that branch.
You better cut that branch off. Man, I tell you what. Y'all got to be safe in these streets out there, dog.
A lot of tucking going on.
Hey, like they said, you got to be more careful.
Be more analyze.
Yeah, buddy.
There's something for everybody.
There is something for everyone. But you need to make sure you cut that branch off. Dak, don't let it happen. Dak, don't let it happen to you, dog. I don't want to be reading about you, dog.
We don't want a Manti Te'o business either.
No, man. Speaking of Manti Te'o, and I know we're about to get off. I know we're almost done, but I wanted to make sure that we talk about this. Swamp Kings is coming out. It's out today. It is a 4-part episode of the Tim Tebow, Urban Meyer, Aaron Hernandez documentary about the Florida Gators.
Great team.
How excited, scared, or are you?
Man, because Aaron, what we found out, it makes you wonder how many people walking around with that type of disorder. With the brain. But all the murders, potential murders, and all, because I saw that team. Texas should have played that team.
They were going to.
Oklahoma got the chance because they went to the Big 12 championship by this many points.
Well, because everybody decided they weren't going to vote for Mac Brown.
Yeah.
Everybody put it out. We're not voting for Mac. So my question is, what would have happened if Texas plays in that game?
I think Texas will win. You want to know why? I was there on the sideline at the old OB.
Right.
Not the old OB, the Joe Robbie, pro player.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
But at the Orange Bowl, national championship, Oklahoma and Florida. You know, Oklahoma had injuries, and they still should have won. Kevin Wilson kept running Chris Brown off the guard.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you got one of the Jermaine Gresham, tight end,
running that wheel route the entire time, dog.
And your boy, wasn't Joaquin Iglesias?
K-Town.
Come on, man.
Killeen, Texas player.
Ryan Broyles, I think.
Yep.
Malcolm Kelly.
And, hey, Longview, baby.
Yeah.
It's going down.
Listen, Kevin Wilson is a good play caller, but I'm still to this day, I'm not even an OU fan, but I respect the hell of the program. That play call to this day, Chris Brown was a good back. And God be with him right now because I won't go into that.
Yeah.
Another story.
Yeah.
DeMarco Murray was on that team.
Correct.
Okay, I think he was hurt. I think he was.
Were you covering OU at that time?
Yes.
Okay.
We were there. We were there for 5 days.
Yep. Okay.
And that justified not going to the Sugar Bowl for 7 days in New Orleans. That's not justified. That's for the national title. We're doing live shots in the back of a pickup truck.
I got you.
But and you had Trent Williams, Longview. You had a lot of talent on that O-line.
Wasn't Lane Johnson there too?
Lane Johnson, Pride of Groveton.
Yeah.
They had, I think he was.
I'm saying, I know he's an OU Sooner.
He may have started, I can't remember. He may have started 2010, or 09. But a healthy Texas team beats Florida that year. Because that hands down. Florida was, what was it? What's his name? Major defensive back they had. Major, forgot his name.
So he graduated. He was a first-round pick in 2013. Lane Johnson was.
So he would have been 09.
Yep.
Or 10. I'm just saying, man, OU was loaded. Florida was loaded, but OU had some injuries. And not being able to get in the end zone there when they were within the 5-yard line, that was the difference.
Lane Johnson was a quarterback
in college. High school.
Yeah, he was a quarterback and a tight end.
Kilgore.
He went to Kilgore, and then he transferred to Oklahoma, where he was a practice squad quarterback before he became an offensive lineman.
And he's one of the funniest human beings.
Oh, man, he's gangster with it. Yeah. So answer your question about all of that. You look back at that team and where Texas should have been going against Florida. Yeah, they should have been playing against them for the championship.
They would have won, Hardge. Texas.
Trust me, I know.
That 08 team was better than 09.
The year that Colt was there, the year before when they lost to that out throw to Graham Harrell, they should have won a national championship that year. That was the year that the votes didn't go in their favor.
No. I got to share this. So that year, that perhaps was that was perhaps the best year for the Big 12 because you had Tech, Oklahoma State, OU, Missouri, A&M, and Nebraska, a little bit of Iowa State. They're all ranked.
Yep.
All those, and they were damn good, bro. So, one story. Coach Norvell was there along with everybody.
Norvell.
Man, the first time I had the fan in me came out. It was the night Texas is playing at Tech. Now, remember, I had a Nokia phone. I'm over here trying to refresh. I'm on the sideline, OU, Nebraska. So it was like a round-robin playoff every week. OU absolutely destroyed Nebraska. First play from scrimmage, pick 6 to the house, OU. It's 54-15. We go, and I'm over here trying to keep up with Texas and Tech. Texas goes down quick. We go to the post-game room. Sooners are celebrating. All they needed was for Tech to beat Texas. I get in there. I could not refresh my phone. And we're setting up for Stoops. Waited 8 long minutes, Hardge. And lo and behold, I hear this eruption from the Sooners locker room in Norman. I knew what had happened. I almost threw up.
Come on.
I knew. You just knew.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Crabtree.
Oh, the out.
Shockey. Everybody.
Earl Thomas.
That was a fluke, man. But it was a great throw.
Yeah. It was a great throw. It was a great reception. It was great turning up the field. Everything was outstanding, except for they were playing Texas.
Yeah.
With the opportunity to go somewhere else. That was the problem, Sean. That was the problem. And that was the night. That was the night that my man Blake Gideon dropped that pass. Dropped that INT.
He gets too much criticism for that.
The roof came off of my home, my first home. I had to move because the roof came off. I had to get a new roof, though.
That's
I had to get out.
You should have gone to Hargrove Roofing, but they weren't around there. Hardge, that was the fan came out of me that night.
I got you. Yeah, all of us did. It all came out for us. I agree.
It's that was the difference.
Yep.
OU gets in, goes to Big 12 championship. I think they beat Missouri.
Yep.
At Arrowhead. And lo and behold, and then Texas sits out and goes to Fiesta Bowl.
Yep.
And they beat a good Ohio State team that year.
Yep.
Hey, 08 team would have beaten 09 team.
Yeah, the Fiesta Bowl, that's another one. Another one. Yeah.
DJ Khaled.
For shizzle. For shizzle.
My brother, appreciate it. Always good. One of the OGs, you're looking at him on the right.
Already.
Which prompts me to say for the other OG man cave boys, that Big Mike and Coach Mo, what did we tell him, Hardge?
Take a damn nap.
We out.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up.